What if I told you that every block and punch you've ever practiced hides a secret? A language of survival whispered across centuries. The kata you see performed in dojos aren't mere routines. They're encrypted manuscripts of war, encoded in movement. Bunkai, the true interpretation, is the cipher that unlocks these ancient codes. Every motion was designed for real combat. Joint breaks, strikes to end fights, escapes from holds. But over time, the deadliest meanings became buried to make karate safe and presentable. Today, we resurrect those lost meanings. The 10 deadliest secrets buried inside traditional kata, decoded, explained, and brought back to life. If you seek the real karate, not for trophies, but for truth, smash that like, subscribe, and step into the forgotten code. Number 10. Heian Shodan, the low block that shatters grips. That low block, Gidan Barai, isn't meant to defend against a kick. It's a hidden joint destroyer, crafted for battlefield disarms. When someone grabs your wrist, instead of retreating, advance. Step in, rotate your hips, and whip your arm downward while hooking their thumb. The result is brutal and precise. Their wrist locks, the elbow hyperextends, and their grip disintegrates. Follow up with your opposite hand in a quick Urayuke strike to the triceps, driving pain up to the shoulder and severing control. This is not a passive motion. It's surgical violence disguised as formality. In old Okinawan Bunkai, this move could neutralize a sword hand in less than 2 seconds. When performed properly, even a gentle twist sends shockwaves through the attacker's nerves. Drill it slowly, breathe through the motion, and remember, this is the key that opens the entire code. Simple, silent, savage. Number 9. Heian Nidan, the lunge punch, feint. The famous oizuki, or lunge punch, isn't a straightforward strike. It's tactical illusion. As an attacker rushes in with a wild haymaker, step forward in a feint. Instead of aiming for the body, rake your fingers across their jawline toward the eyes, while the rear hand snaps low into the groin or inner thigh. 2 hits in one breath short-circuit their nervous system and collapse their balance. The kata's rhythm, twist, torque, and snap disguises an ambush inside formality. Ancient bodyguards used it to disorient drunk aggressors in seconds. Its brilliance lies in flow, offense masquerading as defense. Train it in shadow 50 times. Visualize the rake, feel the torque, master the misdirection. And once you understand this feint, you don't fight chaos, you become it. Number 8. Tekki Shodan, the neck crush from the horse stance. Tekki Shodan's horse stance appears still, but in that stillness lives explosive force. When trapped in a side choke or clinch, sink your weight and root into the ground. As you punch forward with both fists, you're prying space open with raw torque to break their hold. Immediately, the rear hand arcs into a reverse knife hand, Haito Uchi, that crashes into the opponent's carotid artery, while the hip twist amplifies compression. The attacker becomes dizzy and weak within seconds. This technique wasn't designed for the ring. It was meant for life or death situations in narrow alleys and ship decks where every inch mattered. The motion is deliberate, heavy, and unrelenting, like a tide through stone. Train Tekki with intent, not haste, because the silence between strikes is the breath before destruction. Number 7. Bassai Dai, the rib spear of the ridge hand. The Shuto-yuke, often taught as a graceful block, hides one of karate's cruelest secrets, a rib spear. When an opponent grabs you from the side, pivot hard, step deep, and drive your ridge hand into their floating ribs, while the other hand hooks and traps their arm. Your hips whip like a coiled spring. The strike lands not bluntly, but surgically, piercing soft tissue and emptying the lungs. Old-school Bunkai Masters used this to crush ribs even through armor gaps. The human body cannot defend the space under the armpit, so a well-placed ridge hand empties breath and buckles knees. This move values accuracy over speed. Strike 2 inches deep, not wide, and condition your fingers on the makiwara. Bassai Dai's rhythm reminds us that elegance conceals efficiency, and beauty in motion can still break bone. Number 6. Pinan Yondan, the rising block trap. The rising block, age-yuke, is karate's great misdirection. What looks like a simple upward defense is actually a violent entrapment. When an opponent ducks or reaches low, your front hand grips the wrist, and the other rises to pull the head upward, directly into an incoming knee. The collision is devastating. Your shin rakes the groin as the knee drives into the face or chest, and the head is literally pulled into your strike. The movement reads like a polite block on the surface, but beneath it lives a synchronized trap that disables in a heartbeat. This technique was scrubbed from many modern lessons for being too indecent or severe. Yet in true bunkai, it's about survival, not cruelty. The timing is everything. Practice slowly. Build the kinetic chain from hip to knee, and let the kata's cadence teach the flow so the trap closes like a spring. Number 3, Empi, the jumping knee lock. The flashy jump in Empi kata serves a cold, practical purpose, meeting a low charge with vertical devastation. When someone tackles or lunges, spring up and drive your knee into the opponent's patella or collarbone. Number 2, Gojushiho Sho, the crane wing clamp. The crane wings of Gojushiho Sho are graceful but lethal when interpreted correctly. When trapped in a bear hug, flare your elbows to strike the kidneys, and then clamp around the torso, letting your arms function like wings. A sharp hip twist in opposite directions wrenches the lower spine and compresses internal structures. The attacker's center fails, and their entire posture collapses. This is elegant violence, animal motion married to human precision. Okinawan masters compared it to the crane because it's balanced and fluid, yet devastating if provoked. The power here comes from synchronous movement, breath, hip, and arm acting as one. Practice the clamp slowly, then increase speed until the motion becomes a single, inevitable wrench. Number 1. Sanchin, the iron body lock. At the heart of the code lies Sanchin Kata, the 3 battles of mind, body, and breath, and beneath its stillness is total control. Sanchin is not merely conditioning, it's a living lock. When grabbed or restrained, root your feet, tighten the hips, and use circular breath tension to turn the attacker's hold into their own prison. The breathing contracts and releases muscle like steel. The stance stabilizes your center, and your hands flow into joint traps and leverage points that transform every grab into leverage for escape or counter. Sanchin isn't about brute force. It's about economy and presence, body aligned with intent. Train the breath, train the stance, and the rest of the code becomes accessible. When your center is iron, every technique finds its anchor.